Good morning, folks. This is Deb Delapiana, and we're here today to announce the reopening of our original YouTube site. We have removed every single video that was previously on this particular site. It's over 1,500 videos, I believe, because we simply don't hold any of those attitudes, beliefs, opinions, political or otherwise, any longer. We are so far removed from 2016 and all of that blather. We don't even look like we looked in 2020. We are facing full-on fascism here in the United States. And we are advocating for people to participate in government like they have never participated before if we hope to change or save anything that we have here. Democracy is a real thing. Believe it or not, it does actually exist here. There are other countries where they don't even come close to this. There are other countries where people can't vote, and we're rapidly approaching that here with gerrymandering on the GOP side, the oppression of LGBTQ and transgender people, the anti-Semitism on the rise in this country. And no, we're not suggesting to you that to criticize the state of Israel is anti-Semitism. But the commentary and the comments coming out of the GOP and the right-wing people in this country is atrocious and needs to be seen for exactly what it is. So let me just say this. We have 2.5 thousand followers here. If you people are still stuck in 2016 and all the nonsense that the parties are the same, I assure you that they aren't. That's not even a point that you can argue with me at this stage of the game. We will bury you with evidence, and that's the only way we publish anything now, is if we have evidence to back it up. The commentary that the mainstream media lies is a lie. You may not like the fact that they are corporate owned, but the fact of the matter is this. The media all throughout this country since the beginning of time has been owned by the wealthy because that's what it takes to run a newspaper. We had the Washington Post, which broke the Watergate story. That was owned by the Graham family. You know, the Hearst family owns several newspapers. So do we like what the corporate newspapers do all the time? No, we don't. We actually don't. But the fact of the matter is that if it's printed, it's happening because they employ legal departments for a reason. And they always have. They always have. When I followed very closely the Watergate story, and the reality is that if they didn't have two sets of corroborating evidence, they could not publish anything that they published in the Washington Post regarding that. They had to have corroboration to do so. That's the way newspapers are supposed to be run. Do I like Jeff Bezos? I absolutely do not. I do not buy anything from Amazon. I have not bought anything from Amazon in over a decade. But he owns the Washington Post today, and he keeps his hands off their paper. To him, that's an investment. And that's fine with me. We happen to respect the Washington Post a great deal, as we do several other outlets, the New York Times, the Daily Beast. Some of these are all mainstream. A lot of them are not. Mother Jones, we read all of them and we use all of them. So again, if you are stuck still believing in those right-wing narratives that were being spread in 2016 and again in 2020, we're not interested in you continuing to follow us because that's not where we are. The debate is over now. The debate is over. We are either going to save this country and ourselves from fascism or we're not. So we're not here to debate you on YouTube. We will remove you if you don't remove yourselves. If you want to stick around and understand where we're coming from, then we encourage you to do so. But we are not here to now continue to go over and over and over and over the same bullshit that was floating around in 2016, okay? We understand where Jimmy Dore comes from now. We understand where Glenn Greenwald comes from now. They've all moved to the right, okay? Matt Taibbi has moved to the right. Lee Camp, who publishes on RT, along with Chris Hedges, along with John Kiriakou. They published there because, yes, they are free to criticize the United States there, but no one of them ever criticizes Vladimir Putin simply because they're not allowed to. That's a simple fact of life, okay? People don't get that they are working for state-owned Russian media, and that Vladimir Putin very much has his hands all over that Russian media. There are a lot of realities here that have come to light to us over the past several years, and that's the way we operate now. We operate from fact and reality, nothing else. No conspiracy theories, nothing. We're not QAnon followers. We don't believe any of that. We listen to all of the people saying that there are all of these unsealed indictments and they're all going to arrest all of the Democrats because they're all sex traffickers and they're all, they're all trading in children. You know what? Nothing could have been further from the goddamn truth. That is not what that was all about. That was bullshit, is what that was. We listened to all the women that we used to stream with saying that worrying about Roe v. Wade was just simply a distraction. Well, that was some distraction, wasn't it? Because Roe v. Wade is now gone. And there's only one way women are going to get their rights back, and that is by electing a Democratic Party majority. Until that happens, women's rights will continue to be taken away. They're coming for your medication. They're coming for abortion pills. They're coming for contraception. We are being driven in this country completely to the right. And that is because the GOP has chosen to sell its soul to Christian nationalists. Ron DeSantis has created a fascist state in Florida. Greg Abbott is creating one in Texas. They are the proving grounds for what's going to happen in this country. Remember this, folks. The German people were considered enlightened and intelligent human beings. They all had their heads turned. They never believed this was going to happen there either. It did, and it can and will happen here. That's where we're coming from. If you don't like it, I'm sorry to say, this is probably not the place for you. Talk to you later.